Big changes are on the way in the West Bloomfield Fire Department, and as an end of an era is upon us with the impending retirement of longtime Fire Chief Greg Flynn. The Township Board announcing last month that his Assistant Chief, Mark Lowry, will take the helm following Chief Flynn's last day coming up in late June. Here to reflect on a storied career at the West Bloomfield Fire Department and the bright future of our local FD is Fire Chief Greg Flynn. Chief Flynn, welcome to the show, and congratulations on your upcoming retirement.
Tyler, thank you. Good to be with you as always over the years, our time together, a friendship that's really developed through these types of interviews.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to get to know you, to get to know the fire department throughout the years that we've been talking here on the Splash Live and through other programs as well with Civic Center TV. For you, you've had such a great career at the West Bloomfield Fire Department. There's been so many changes over the years that have really benefited our community while also benefiting our firefighters. What are among some of those that you're the most proud of as you approach your last couple of months at the helm?
Well, we've made really some pretty significant refinements, in our approach to how we deliver service in the community. You've seen a change in vehicle types, how we spec those vehicles. You've seen a change in the outward appearance of buildings, with the complete demolition and rebuild of Fire Station 3. You're seeing the efforts of the renovation on Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road taking place. Early on, even in my career, the building of Fire Station number 5. So, a lot of growth. I'm a little apprehensive to the change word because one thing hasn't changed in the FD's commitment to this community, and it's our mission. And that mission will continue on long after me and whoever follows in the seat in the years and decades to come. Because that is just a tradition that's been carried on from the chiefs before me and the firefighters before me is service and service to this community. It truly has been an honor and a privilege.
And one thing that's been consistent with yourself, with so many in your leadership team, and really all the firefighters and paramedics across the board at the West Bloomfield Fire Department is they have the right motivations behind them going into their day-to-day. Some of it can just be the regular office work or maintenance work on vehicles and apparatus, and others are, of course, those calls both in our community and in neighboring communities through the Oakway Collective. For you, going back to your early days as a firefighter paramedic, what inspired you to go into this particular career path?
So my story was very personal, like so many. Briefly, my niece Jessica was a newborn, and my brother was home on military leave with his wife, and a big game of aggressive Monopoly at the Flynn house when suddenly my sister-in-law, we heard her scream from the basement where my niece was napping on the lower level, and things just went into motion. She was having a seizure, and shortly after calling 911, a volunteer, a paid-on-call firefighter showed up and rendered first aid and saved really my niece's life. And so I knew in my late teen years that that's what I wanted to do. And so that's all I've done. I started at Goodrich Volunteer Ambulance in my junior year of high school as a dispatcher. And then as soon as I turned 18, Tyler, I was working on an ambulance, and I've been on some kind of emergency vehicle for over 30 years.
And it's a great accomplishment, too, because you get to see so many different angles of what goes into public safety, whether it is just individual firefighter, paramedic work, or, as you mentioned, the dispatch work, too. There's so many people and so many different layers that goes into keeping a community like Greater West Bloomfield, which includes 4 different municipalities, safe and partners with so many other communities. What now, as you're heading toward the exit of your career, do you hope that people in our community understand about what it takes to do the work that you and your colleagues do in 2026 to keep Greater West Bloomfield one of the safest areas in Michigan and across the country?
It's hard to be critical of anything that I could say to the residents because they've been so supportive. I feel very fortunate when I have the opportunity to speak to groups, my colleagues, whether it's just regionally here in the great state of Michigan or anywhere across the country, how grateful I am for the support of this community. And it's the financial support. I mean, truly, that's what allows us to do the things that we do and have the facilities that we have and attract the talent that we have so that when we're called into service, when when people need us most and their expectations are their highest, we're able to meet and often exceed those expectations. So, I think the residents of West Bloomfield get it. And they don't need to hear from Greg Flynn or probably even, Mark Lowry or any of those chiefs to follow. Because the chiefs before us and the firefighters and paramedics before us have laid a foundation, and the residents of West Bloomfield get it, Tyler, and I'll be forever grateful for that. And I don't see a change in trajectory with that. I see the support that this community continues on a daily basis, not just after large events, but on a daily basis with our station tours, and you see it at Fire Open House. The community is invested in safety and meaningful, purposeful safety, and that comes at a cost. And I know that they appreciate that, and we see that with the millages and the way they pass, and the support that people put behind that.
And that's reciprocated by the firefighter paramedics as well, because you see, even in the response to things as most recently as the water main break and what happened at Temple Israel, so many of the people that both were on and off duty came out to respond to those, to help this community that they serve day in and day out, whether they were on the job or not. And then beyond that, as these recognitions happen for those in public safety, whether it was police, fire, EMS, dispatch, a third of the department thereabouts shows up to the township board meeting for those that are being recognized, whether they were on that job or not that day. What does that say about the internal support that your firefighter paramedics have for each other and for public safety organizations across our local area that does contribute to this area of Oakland County being so safe?
Well, there is a culture that was instilled in me very early on when I came on the job, that the job is a little bit bigger than just a job. And you create this relationship with people. I think over the years, and this comes back to your question, but I've watched and been part of caring for people as they age in place, as we say, that they, kind of get older, and as different ailments might kind of progress. It's the paramedics that are alongside them. It's the firefighters that go and extinguish a fire and then see a family rebuild their home and replace things. We're still part of the community. So even after that event, our arms are wrapped around it. So there's definite involvement. That's what's so unique about it, is I've spent over 28 years coming into West Bloomfield and creating relationships with West Bloomfield. That's happening with every one of our team members. They're creating that relationship. So when your friends invite you back and say, hey, we want to say thank you for a good thing, your friends, your residents, those that we're serving, that's just a natural show up. It just feels comfortable to come back. It's not a requirement. It just is the right thing to do. And I think that's what's unique about the WBFD. That's what's unique about working in this community, is that sense of belonging that comes with it. And with that is that commitment to show up for those important events.
West Bloomfield Fire Chief Greg Flynn is joining us on the Splash Live today as he continues toward the end of June, which will install the end of his career as he heads into retirement after many years of service as our fire chief and so many more serving in the West Bloomfield Fire Department. Chief, the last several years, you've spent a lot of time outside of your work here in Greater West Bloomfield, helping to lift up firefighter paramedic organizations across the country, teaching them the best methods and best standards and practices so that they can continue to elevate their departments as West Bloomfield elevates theirs. How important of an effort was that for you, especially as you started to contextualize the final years of your career?
Well, the things that I get to share is really highlighting the good work that the men and women here at the WBFD do, the commitment of the community that we talked about, the elected officials that are willing to listen and understand and then step into solutions, my fellow department heads that all play a very integral role into the success of emergency services and ensuring people have benefits and payroll and just all of the things that go into government operations. And so we share that message and the lessons I've been taught by colleagues, my trips and falls professionally where I could have done better, and sharing that experience and sharing the perseverance and the grit to move through even on days where things we didn't meet expectations and we can do better, that you need to play through that you can't, get stuck in the time that things didn't go perfect, and how to persevere. And I will miss that. I will miss that about this job. While retirement is still a bit of a difficult word for me to hear, because I don't see it that way, Tyler. I really see just starting to hit my stride. And I look forward to continuing that advocacy in the public safety sector and finding a way forward to continue to help people, especially after experiencing, something that is very difficult or traumatic in their life.
And you've been able to do that too so consistently with your advocacy work for firefighters and those in public service through campaigns like the Yellow Rose campaign, helping to increase the awareness for the need for mental health support services across the firefighting profession, and especially here in our community. As you head into retirement, how is that something that maybe what about that makes you motivated for that next chapter, to be able to continue to help people in ways that maybe you're not able to do because of the day-to-day business of a chief, but you can do with the context of being a chief, being a longtime firefighter, and knowing the needs of these everyday heroes that are protecting our community?
Well, I will tell you that Mrs. Flynn will never use the chief word. Because when I'm at home, I cut the grass just like everybody else, and pick up after the dog and put the garbage out and load the dishwasher and all of those things. And I thank her for that, because that's the humility that comes with understanding the scope and the role that you sit in those different roles throughout the day. And so, as you highlighted, I look forward to continuing conversations on just enjoying life and finding harmony in your work, your professional and personal relationships and engagement and work-life balance that is so important. 11 years in the 5 Bugle seat here has been an enjoyable time. I truly have and grateful for the opportunity that and the trust that the men and women here at the FDFD and the elected officials that appointed me into the position and have continued to support me in the role. So I'll continue to find a spot where people want to listen, or if they invite me in to have a conversation or to help solve a difficult problem, I definitely will lean into that. That's something my parents instilled in me. My parents that were at my badge pinning back in 1998. And I'm very much looking forward to my parents being at my last day on the job here at the end of June.
And Chief Flynn, on June 27th, your assistant chief at this time, Mark Lowry, will take over as the next chief of the West Bloomfield Fire Department. It's a quite glowing endorsement when there really is no debate about who the successor is, and the township board brings that up as part of their recent agenda. It passes with flying colors. There's so much support there from within the rank and file of the fire department. As you prepare to depart your position at the end of June and Mr. Lowry comes in as the next chief, what's your lasting message for him? And beyond that, more importantly for the community, what should they know about the leader that they have coming in after you with such big shoes to fill?
Well, he's chief number 20. And I couldn't be more proud of the human that Mark Lowry is, the chief that he will be for the men and women of the department and for the greater West Bloomfield community and the 4 communities that we serve. Mark is an individual that is committed, at times maybe even to a fault, with his commitment to detail and ensuring that things are meeting expectations. And I say that with a smile because he's usually here before I get here in the morning, and, leaving after I'm leaving, or, if something's supposed to be done in 3 days, it's done in, 3 hours. He is just an individual that's well organized. He's committed to the community. He always brings a smile into the room and energy. So I think there are going to be things that Mark is going to absolutely continue to build on. And then there will be the things that Mark will continue to improve and bring his touch and his expertise and his professionalism into that. and couldn't be more excited for him. And I think the community as a whole is going to be, again, he will exceed their expectations with his professionalism and his commitment to his position.
Well, we're also excited for Chief Lowry, as well as for you, as you move on from endeavors close to home and more onto projects close to your heart as you head into retirement. Chief Flynn, thank you so much for your time today once again, and congratulations on your impending retirement.
Can I just put this on real quick?
No,
Go
okay.
Blue.
All right. Well, you know, at the time we're doing this, it is Trash Talk Tuesday. I got to take it. Congratulations, big winner over there. And you know what? You're still the chief. You're still the chief. Got to show some respect. Got to kiss the ring over here with your University of Michigan Wolverines and their national title. Thank you so much for joining us, albeit with a parting shot.